What do a walking stick, a river stone, and a jawbone have in common? Written and narrated by Sister Michelle Watson. What do a walking stick, a river stone, and a jawbone have in common? They are three small objects that appear in the Old Testament. The walking stick, also called a rod or a staff, belonged to Moses. The river stone was picked up by David, and Samson grabbed the jawbone. But that's not all they have in common. Each small item was used by God to accomplish a great deed. God allowed Moses to do wonders with the rod, including parting the Red Sea. God allowed David to defeat Goliath with the smooth stone. God allowed Samson to kill 1,000 of Israel's oppressors with the jawbone. Because I'm a good Christian who reads and prays and goes to church, I know that God is powerful. But because I'm also a frail human, I don't always believe it, truly. I'm often guilty of believing that God's power only flows through powerful people I consider spiritual giants. Let's take a closer look at Moses, David, and Samson. Moses was an 80-year-old shepherd holding a walking stick. David was a 17-year-old shepherd holding a river rock. Samson was an unfaithful Nazirite holding a jawbone. I'm a middle-aged wife and mom holding a dust rag and mop. On weekdays, I hold number 2 pencils and Post-it notes. On Sundays, I'm holding a crock pot and a ladle. Like Moses, David, and Samson, I'm facing the evils of this world. Evil forces that are trying to steal away my kids, cause conflict in my family, and distract me from my mission. And what do I have to fight back? Not much. Not enough, that's for sure. But you know what else I've got? I have another small thing. Faith the size of a mustard seed. When I use that tiny grain of faith to give my small bit to Jesus, he smiles and says, I can do a lot with this. 1 Corinthians 1 provides a list of things that God uses to get things done. Verses 27 and 28 say, But God hath chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise, and God hath chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. And base things of the world, and things which are despised, hath God chosen, yea, and things which are not, to bring to naught things that are. Foolish things, weak things, base or lowly things, despised things, things that are regarded as nothing special. Why does God choose to use such weak instruments and frail tools? Verse 29 answers that question. God uses weak things so that no flesh should glory in his presence. If your weaknesses and insufficiency are getting you down, then I hope these verses encourage you. Scrape together that mustard seed-sized faith and hand what you've got to Jesus and ask him to do his will with it. So, what do a walking stick, a river stone, and a jawbone have in common? They were small things in the hands of unlikely people that God used to accomplish great things. What small things has God put into your hands, and how can you give them over to him so he can do great things? By small and simple things are great things brought to pass, and small means in many instances doth confound the wise. And the Lord God doth work by means to bring about his great and eternal purposes, and by very small means the Lord doth confound the wise, and bringeth about the salvation of many souls. Alma 37, verses 6 to 7.